Learning and remembering things can often feel like an overwhelming task, especially when faced with complex information or when trying to master a new skill. Many of us struggle with the challenge of absorbing large amounts of information, retaining it, and recalling it when necessary. Whether you're a student preparing for exams, a professional acquiring new skills, or someone who simply wants to improve their memory, effective learning is essential. One of the most powerful methods I've discovered for learning and retaining information is what I like to call the effort rule. This rule emphasizes the importance of making a conscious effort in your learning process and aligns the power of persistence and focus with cognitive performance. In this video, I'm going to break down how the effort rule works, why it's so effective, and how you can incorporate it into your daily routine to improve your ability to learn and remember things easily. What is the effort rule? The effort rule is a simple yet powerful principle that states, the more effort you put into learning something, the better you will retain and understand it. Essentially, it emphasizes the importance of deliberate, intentional practice and cognitive engagement in the learning process. In a world where we have constant distractions and endless sources of information, the effort rule encourages you to focus on deeply understanding concepts and committing them to memory. This concept comes from the idea that active learning is far more effective than passive learning. When you actively engage with the material, whether through studying, practicing, or applying it in real-life situations, the brain is more likely to make the neural connections necessary for remembering and understanding the information. The science behind the effort rule. To fully appreciate why the effort rule works, we need to understand a bit of the science behind learning and memory. The brain operates through a complex system of neural networks. When you learn something new, your brain forms new connections, or synapses, between neurons. The more effort you put into understanding and practicing the material, the stronger these connections become. Essentially, repeated practice and effort help these connections become permanent. Research in cognitive science and psychology has shown that effortful learning leads to better long-term retention. The effort activates certain brain regions associated with memory consolidation, meaning the more you struggle and work through a concept, the more your brain strengthens and stores that memory. This is where the famous concept of desirable difficulty comes in. It refers to the idea that when learning is made a little harder, it actually helps improve the learning process and enhances long-term retention. For example, when you're trying to learn a new language, the effort of remembering vocabulary, sentence structures, and grammar rules may feel challenging at first. But, by putting in that effort and consistently practicing, your brain starts to associate those new words and phrases with concepts, making it easier for you to recall them later. The power of focused, intentional practice. One of the key aspects of the effort rule is intentional practice. This means that when you're learning something new, you should actively choose to focus on it without distractions. Whether you're studying for a test or trying to learn a new skill, you need to commit yourself fully to the process. Here are a few techniques that align with the effort rule to enhance your learning and memory. Deep work. Deep work refers to uninterrupted, focused work where you engage fully with the task at hand. This means eliminating distractions like social media, phone notifications, or multitasking. When you dive into focused work, you give your brain the space it needs to create lasting neural connections. Spaced repetition. Spaced repetition is a learning technique where you revisit material at spaced intervals to reinforce your memory. By spacing out review sessions, you are putting in effort over time, which helps to solidify your knowledge. Apps like Anki or Quizlet can help with this method. Active recall. Active recall involves trying to remember information without looking at your notes or textbooks. This forces your brain to retrieve information from memory, which strengthens the neural pathways involved. Instead of just passively reading or highlighting text, actively test yourself on the material. This effortful process improves recall and retention. Teach what you learn. Teaching someone else what you've learned is a powerful way to solidify your own understanding. When you explain concepts to others, you actively process and reinforce the information. This method helps you identify gaps in your understanding and strengthens your memory. Use of mnemonics. Mnemonics are memory aids that help you associate complex information with easy-to-remember phrases or images. The more effort you put into creating effective mnemonics, the more likely you'll be able to recall that information. Visualization and association. Creating mental images or associations with the material you're learning can significantly improve memory. The effort of associating new knowledge with existing mental images or creating a story around the information strengthens the connections in your brain, making it easier to retrieve the knowledge later. The importance of consistency and persistence. The effort rule isn't just about putting in effort once or twice. To truly make learning easier and more effective, consistency is key. Just like physical exercise, the more consistently you put in effort to engage with the material, the more you improve your cognitive abilities. Many people underestimate the value of small, consistent efforts. Rather than cramming for hours before an exam or trying to learn everything in one go, breaking your study or practice sessions into shorter, regular intervals ensures that your brain has time to process and consolidate the information. Over time, these small, deliberate actions add up and make a significant difference in how well you retain information. How to make the effort rule work for you. To make the effort rule work for you, it's important to create a learning environment that encourages deep engagement. Here are some tips on how to do this. Set clear goals. Break down what you need to learn into smaller, achievable goals. This will help you focus on specific objectives and make the effort more manageable. Create a routine. Set aside regular time each day to focus on learning. Whether it's 30 minutes or 2 hours, consistency is the key to improving memory. Stay patient and positive. Learning takes time. Don't expect instant results, but remain positive and patient with the process. Recognize that the effort you're putting in now will pay off in the long run. Mix up your learning strategies. Try using a variety of techniques, like active recall, spaced repetition, or teaching others, to keep the process fresh and engaging. This will help you stay motivated and increase the effectiveness of your effort. Why the effort rule is so powerful. The effort rule is powerful because it aligns with how our brains naturally work. Instead of relying on shortcuts or easy fixes, this rule taps into our brain's capacity for growth and improvement through sustained effort. By focusing on effortful learning and taking the time to engage with material deeply, you are setting yourself up for long-term success. The beauty of the effort rule lies in its simplicity and the fact that anyone, regardless of age or background, can apply it. Final thoughts. Learning is a journey, and it's one that requires focus, patience, and dedication. By adopting the effort rule, you can transform your approach to learning, making it easier to remember and understand complex material. Whether you're studying for an exam, learning a new skill, or trying to improve your memory in everyday life, the more effort you put into the process, the better your results will be. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on learning and personal growth.